previous lesson, we have started talking about the circuit model of quantum computations and looked at some single-qubit logic elements. Today, we will continue our conversation and now consider the controlled logic elements. In contrast to single-qubit elements acting on one qubit, now several qubits are entered on the input of controlled logic elements at the same time. At least one of them will be the control, and at least one of the other will be the target. By analogy with classical calculations, any logical operations that are performed as a set of target qubits occur only at certain values of the set of control qubits. So, each control qubit is in a certain quantum mechanical state. For example, when each control qubit is in the state 1, the logic element acts on the target qubit. If at least one of the control qubits is in the 0 state, then the target qubits remains unchanged. Note that there are exceptions to this rule, and in some cases, control qubits have to be in 0 state for proceeding the transformations. As an example, let us consider the simplest and the most common logical element, the X, or it is also called controlled X. This element is analogous to the classic C0 element. The slide shows a schematic representation of such an element. The black circle marks the horizontal wire, or better, the channel through which the control qubit C propagates. From this circle there is a vertical segment that connects the circle to the logical element that acts on the target qubit A. If the qubit C is in the state 1, then the logical element X acts on the state vector of qubit A. If the qubit C is in the state 0, then nothing happens with the qubit A. Here, everything is analogous to the classical element C0. However, as in the case of single qubit elements, there are some features when qubits at the input of the element Cx are in the superposition state. Let's now consider the truth table for C0 element when two quantum bits C and A are at its input. So we have the bit C in the superposition state of 0 and 1 with complex coefficients alpha and beta. And let's suppose that we have the bit A also in the superposition state, gamma 0 plus kappa 1. And we want now to introduce the time scale. So T0 is the input state and T1 in the output. Oh, at the moment T1 we could describe the two-qubit state as the tensor product of qubit C and qubit A. It equals to alpha 0 plus beta 1 multiplied by gamma 0 plus kappa 1. So we could actually do the multiplication and obtain the following result. Alpha hammer 0 0 plus beta hammer 1 0 plus alpha hammer kappa 0 1 plus beta kappa 1 1. So after the C0 element, we should flip the state of the qubit A if the qubit C is in the state 1. So we should change we should change this term and this term. Now, at the moment of time t1, the result of C0 gate, we have the following expression: alpha hamma 0, 0 plus beta hamma 0, 1, 1 plus alpha kappa 0, 1 plus beta kappa 1, 0. So let's now consider the example and assume that the kappa equals 0 and gamma equals to 1. It corresponds for the situation when qubit A is in the state 1. In the state 0, 0. Okay. And after performing the C0 transformation, we have the state, the moment t1, alpha gamma 0, 0 plus beta gamma 1, 1. So, the result should be analyzed more deeply. At the input, we have two separable states of the qubit C and A. Here it is. And at the output, we have inseparable state or entangled. So, C0 transformation entangles the control and the target qubits. Let us now consider the element CCX, or the quantum Toffoli gate. As can be seen from the scheme on the slide, it is also in many ways similar to the classic Toffoli gate. Indeed, the logical element X will be applied to the target qubit A only in the case when the control qubits C1 and C2, which are at the input Toffoli element, are simultaneously in the state 1. And if at least one of the control qubits is equal to 0, then nothing happens with the target qubit A. Naturally, each of the qubits at the input of the Toffoli element can be in the state of quantum superposition, and you need to act in the same way as we acted in the case of the CX element. Multiply the state vectors corresponding to each qubit in the initial order. See in which cases you need to apply a logical element to qubit A and in which you do not, and then write the answer. Sometimes an element controlled U or Cu is used, which differs from the element Cx, and that instead of the transforming X over target qubit A, some unitary transformation U is performed when the control qubit C is in the state 1. Otherwise, it is completely analogous to the Cx element. It should be noted that the set consisting of one qubit logical element H, T, and the controlled logical element Cx is a universal set for any unitary elements, that is, a quantum computation scheme or of arbitrary complexity can be constructed from this and only these elements. In conclusion, let us consider the so-called exchange scheme, composed of three elements of Cx and swapping qubits A and B at its input. We will need this scheme further when we get acquainted with the quantum algorithms. Now, we want to consider the exchange element, and let's firstly introduce the timescale. Let the moment t0 is the input, the moment of time t1 is after the first X element, the moment t2 after the second X element, and the moment t3 is the output. So let's assume that at the input of the exchange element there are two qubits A and C in the states C equals alpha 0 plus beta 1, and the state of the qubit A is the gamma 0 plus kappa 1. So at the moment of time t0, at the input of the exchange element, we have the two qubit states, which is the tensor product of the state of the qubit C and state of the qubit A. That equals to alpha gamma 0 0 plus beta gamma 1 0 plus alpha kappa 0 1 plus beta kappa 1 1. So, after the first x element at the moment of time t1, we could write down the two qubit state as following: alpha gamma 0 0 plus alpha kappa 0 1 plus beta gamma 1 1 plus beta kappa 1 0. So we're just in comparison with the input state, we'll just flip the second bit value in this term and this one. So the qubit C what the control qubit and the qubit A is the target qubit. After the second X gate, where A qubit is the control and C qubit is the target, we have the following state: alpha gamma 0 0 plus alpha kappa 1 1 plus beta gamma 0 1 plus beta kappa 1 0. So we flipped the second bit value in the second and the third term. At the output of the exchange element, we have the following state at the moment t3: alpha gamma 0 0 plus alpha kappa 1 0 plus beta gamma 0 1 plus beta kappa 1 1. And this state may be rewritten as tensor product of the state gamma 0 plus kappa 1 and the state alpha 0 plus beta 1. So this element swapped the qubits A and C at the input. Now at the output we have qubits not C and A, but A and C. That's all for now. Thanks for your attention.